Here's an example of what people do. Full on picnic over the flowers, blankets, everything else on top of flowers.
There you go.
That's just class right there, classic.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel and welcome to our journey to full-time RV life. I'm Lynn.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are Create and Capture Life. So we are a day late and some people suck. This week we decided to, or I guess it would be, this week, last week, we decided to drive out to the Antelope
Valley, California Poppy Reserve in Lancaster, California.
Yeah, and it's about 2 hours from our house. So it's a 2-hour drive one way, and we went and saw the poppies. And then
Hold on a second. It's 2 hours during COVID times. If we had tried to do that drive at any other time, if we're driving through Los Angeles and stuff like that, that might have been an all-day, like a 5-hour trip.
Yeah.
So.
So we drove out and we just decided, why not get out of the house for half the day? So we drove out there. We didn't see the poppies last year because of all the controversy and all the people. They actually shut them down at one point because people were destroying them. So we thought, okay, well, it's during the quarantine. The reserve itself is closed, but in the outskirts of the area, you can still see poppy fields. And that's what we wanted to do. Yeah. So we decided to drive out there this year. It's quarantine. We figured, you know what, there won't be as many people. We could take a look at the actual flowers, which is what we were there to do. And we were there about 10 minutes before we were just very angry.
Yeah.
We saw everything from people laying blankets down on top of the flowers to take pictures. We saw more boobs than a Maxim magazine ad. People taking Insta photos, for their Instagram feeds. Yep. Women scantily clad all over. Kids stomping on flowers, picking flowers, dogs running around. Just everything you could imagine. We saw it all in the hour that we were there. I even saw guys smoking, not vaping, smoking an actual cigarette, standing in the poppy fields, where the entire road up there says high fire danger, this is the season, no smoking, Smokey the Bear signs, like all of that. And this guy's standing in the middle of a poppy field smoking a cigarette. Yeah,
because when we were going up there, it was also really hot the day we went out there, and it was really 90. Dry. It was well into the 90s. It was super dry, and it was perfect fire condition. So anything, including that guy's cigarette, could have set off, a fire. And trust me, there was a lot of dry fuel out there that could have gone really fast.
It was just so frustrating to see that people just have no respect for nature, and they were pulling off into areas where you weren't supposed to be in. They trash everywhere, and I mean the season barely started for this and there's trash everywhere already. If I had taken my trash picker in a bag, I could have filled up my bag easily just in the hour we were there. And on one of the hills, it was a really tall, steep hill that you could go up. It was an actual road, but it was very steep to get to the top of this hill where you could look down at the poppies. And so Jonathan has this 4x4 truck, so we had no problem getting up there. We saw, what was it, like a BMW or a Mercedes? One of those. I think it was a Mercedes.
Yeah, it was a Mercedes, like a Mercedes, just a car, like a regular Mercedes car.
Like a two-door little car, but it was a Mercedes. This guy's trying to go up this hill, and what did you call it? Where he almost it wasn't a road. It was more of a dirt trail that people have been following, and it was pretty rutted out. So for those of you guys out there that are Jeepers and off-roaders, you guys know what I mean when I say it's all rutted out. It was really bumpy, and this car just tried to go up, and the guy was, probably trying to impress somebody inside. Who knows?
And he high-centered his really expensive Mercedes
on the edge
of the hill
of the not a cliff, but like the edge of a hill, where if he had gone down, well, not only would he have run over a bunch of people that were on the hill, but he would have trashed his car even worse.
But so he had to basically get himself unstuck by going backwards a little bit. And then finally,
it looked like he was rocking, in the car, rocking the car. It was just, people have no respect. And so we were there for about an hour, and we were we talked about it most of the way home. We were just disgusted with the way people treat nature.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the leave no trace motto doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. And, you know, we had heard this about the poppy fields last year. We had seen it on the news. But to see it in person, I mean, the complete and utter lack of respect is maddening.
Yeah, it was
maddening.
It was disgusting. I've been involved in off-road search and rescue my entire life. I've avid outdoorsman with my dad. We used to go camping and stuff like that. And, you know, we've always had the leave no trace. You know, you come out with more than you take in. You know, when you go hiking, when you go climbing, stuff like that, pick up other people's trash, because some people just can't. And those people suck.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. So that was the first thing that started off our week this week with people. And so we were just kind of disgusted.
Yeah.
Then we've been taking walks in our neighborhood, and we walk between 1 mile and 2 miles a day just to get out, and also because we're fat. So, you know, you want to get out and you want to walk because you're fat. And
are you calling me fat?
yes, I'm calling both of us fat. So you want to get out, and we've been trying to walk and get out, and where we live on our street, people street park, and no big deal, they street park, and we have street sweeping every Monday morning here. And those of us that normally work from home before the quarantine and everything, work from home, we used to call it Pajama Monday, because everybody that was home on Mondays would run out in their pajamas and move their car for the street sweeper and then put their car back. Because they pretty much came within like a 20-minute window every Monday. So as soon as you heard them, you ran out, you got your car, you just followed them. As soon as they did your street, you put your car back.
Yeah, it was great because we got a little warning because we live in an alley. So the street sweeper would run through the alleys first, and then as soon as he was done with the alley, he'd go out and do the main road. Well, so when you heard him...
Yeah, so we always knew when he was coming, and we could run out there in our pajamas and move our cars, and it was kind of funny. And we called it Pajama Monday, all of our neighbors. And but since the quarantine started, they have stopped ticketing for street sweeping, because so many people are home and the street's crowded with cars, and half the people can't parallel park a car, so that we have half a space in between every car. You have the car that can't park at all, so the rear end is sticking out, or the front end is sticking out, or they're 3 feet from the curb. So that's a whole nother issue. But as we walk down the street here, we notice week after week after week after week, now there's trash, there's droppings from the trees. We have pine trees here, a lot of them, and they drop a lot of stuff this time of year. So the streets are disgusting, because everyone knows they're not going to get a ticket, so they're just too lazy. They just don't bother to move their car. We still do. My son still goes, and Ryan still moves my car.
Yeah.
People don't move their cars. They don't care.
There's literally cars that have been parked in the same spot probably for the last 5 or 6 weeks. I can tell.
You can, yeah.
Because not only has the trash collected like up and around their tires, but there's spider webs.
Yep.
Like full on cobwebs going between those branches that are stuck on the bottom of their tires.
And their cars.
Up to their cars. It's at some point, I wonder what's going to happen when all those people go to leave their houses.
Well, AAA is going to be really busy because none of those cars are going to start.
Yeah, AAA should just park a truck out here with a battery pack just to get everybody jump started.
Yeah.
When it's
so
time.
I never thought I would advocate for the city writing tickets for street sweeping, but I really wish they would start, because our street needs to be cleaned, and especially if on the off chance this time of year it decided to rain here. Our street has a tendency to flood, and with all that debris in the street, it's gonna be even worse. And so, I mean, what?
The funny thing is,
I
posted something about on many neighborhoods out there have that neighborhood app where you can like comment and report like crimes and stuff like that. And somebody commented about the street sweeping, and I said, hey, I wish they would start ticketing for street sweeping in our area, because one of the other local neighborhoods down by us, they are going to start. And I had like 2 or 3 people comment like, well, it's just a shame, because what if, someone's been furloughed or laid off, and, and they can't go out and move their car. Why can't you go out and move your car?
You can move your car.
You can move your car.
That is just frustrating too, because we see it building up in the neighborhood and it keeps getting worse. Sorry, I keep moving. I'm sitting on a stool and it's super uncomfortable.
You want to switch stools?
No, it's really uncomfortable. I'm just going to switch cheeks. So yeah, that's been frustrating this week. Then the next best thing to the plant debris and people just dropping trash, and we live in a nice neighborhood, don't get us wrong, like we know all of our neighbors that are close to us here, like we have a very friendly neighborhood, but these people just aren't normally here all the time, and they're just, I don't know, some of the things I've been finding out about certain people during this quarantine time has just amazed me. So the next thing that we see now, because masks in Orange County where we live, masks are required. Like, we can't go into 7-Eleven without a mask. We can't go into the grocery store. You can't go anywhere without a mask.
Yeah.
That's inside. You can be outside and walk and all that without a mask, but you can't go inside anywhere without a mask.
Yay, California.
So yeah, so now the next thing, it used to be gloves were being found like all the time. Now we're finding masks just thrown on the ground, in the gutter, outside of people's cars. Like, it looks like they got out of their car here at home and left the mask on the ground outside their car because they didn't want to take it in their house. So, why not just leave it in the gutter, right?
In the gutter that's not being swept because you're not moving your car, or
Yeah, so it just compounds itself, and so then that's just been a frustrating thing. And we're not trying to be like super negative. Like, we try not to be negative on this channel, but literally this week has just gotten to us. I mean, people are just out of control.
So comment down below if you think that we're being irrational or something like that, and let us know, because I mean,
yeah, does this kind of stuff bother you too? Are you seeing the same kind of thing? I mean, it's not hard not to litter. It's not hard not to trample on flowers. It's not hard to be a decent human being.
Right.
And have respect for your surroundings.
Yep.
We only get this planet for a short time that we're here. Why not respect it?
Yeah.
Don't leave trash. Don't trample on things. Don't litter in your neighborhood. You live in this neighborhood too. Why are you not bothered by the litter in the neighborhood? So the next thing that got us riled up this week is people fighting other people because they're not wearing masks. Literally in the grocery stores around here, there have been fist fights where the police have been called. We've had neighbors, like not our neighbors, but people in the farther out of the neighborhood, yelling at other people as they're walking their dog or whatever. They're not wearing a mask, yelling at bike riders. Now, if you're in a store and the rule is you have to wear a mask, then wear your mask. Because you don't have a choice. You're on private property and they're telling you have to wear a mask. But in our city, you do not have to wear a mask if you're outside. You do not have to wear a mask if you're walking your dog or taking a walk around the neighborhood. So don't yell at people. We have people yelling from cars at people. We have a Cypress community page where we live on Facebook, and my daughter doesn't even live here anymore, and she still follows it because it's humorous, because people are so irate with other people. They go on these rants about how their neighbors are bad people because they're out walking their dogs without wearing a mask, things like that. Come on. Like, I get it. We're supposed to wear masks inside. You have to wear a mask here, there, and whatever. But you know what? Stop. Just stop policing other people.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, I don't know. We just had it this week. It's just been one day, every day it was some new thing.
And all leading up to what I think was the straw that broke the camel's back.
What?
We went to, so Lynn has a tradition every year. We go to the cemetery.
Oh.
Many times a year, actually, but
I go for all the holidays,
all the holidays
including my parents' birthdays.
Yeah.
Because we live right here, and I like to clean up their gravesite and leave flowers for all the holidays. And it's just nice to, I feel comfort there visiting with my parents. And so that's just something that I've always done. And we went yesterday for Mother's Day.
Yeah, that was a mess.
When you drive into Forest Lawn, which is where my parents are, they have huge billboards up everywhere that say you have to do social distancing 6 feet apart, no more than 10 people, which I find interesting, I guess, for a funeral, but no more than 10 people in a crowd, no dogs, no food, no, all these rules, right? And they're listed everywhere. Mm-hmm. We went there yesterday just to simply put flowers.
For Mother's Day.
For Mother's Day. There were families of 20 plus people with full on picnics. Beach chairs, beach umbrellas, beach toys, frisbees, this and that with the kids. One lady had 4 dogs running around people's graves in the grass. One guy, where my parents are buried, is near a statue of David. Those of you guys that know the statue of David. So I'm sitting on the grass and I'm cleaning their gravestone, and the statue of David's probably 25, 30 yards away from where I'm at. And this guy goes up with his phone, and he's not a young guy. He is late 20s probably. goes up with his phone to the Statue of David, points at it to a certain area of the statue with his phone, and he's taking Instagram photos.
And laughing the whole time.
And laughing and thinking it's hilarious. I just don't even know. I don't even know. What is going on? I mean, is it because the parks are closed and people are thinking this is the next best place to have a picnic?
Now, I'll tell you, I don't know. We didn't actually see it. But while we were there,
somebody was cooking.
Somebody was barbecuing.
Like a hibachi kind of a
yeah,
thing.
Like you could smell it. Like, and I looked around to see, like, hey, where's, like, this smells kind of good. And then it's like, at the cemetery?
And there were people. We saw people drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
We saw people with, like, full spread picnics. I mean,
yeah,
full spread picnic.
I mean,
10, 20 people together, laughing, running around, joking around. I'm not saying you can't be happy.
No.
But yeah, I don't feel like you should be running, in my personal opinion, and, tell me what your opinion is. In my opinion, when I'm at the cemetery, I'm there to pay respect and that kind of thing. And I'm not going to disrespect other people's graves, and I'm not going to walk across other people's graves. I'm not bringing my dogs to let them run around and poop in the grass and pee on people's things. And
yeah, because you got to think about it. These people were bringing blankets, and there's probably, like we said, like 20 people.
They're next to each other, and the graves.
All the graves are right next to each other.
So you're on other people's headstones, you're on other people's grave sites,
and now
with your chairs and your umbrellas and your picnic.
Where Lynn's family is at, they don't have, like, the above ground headstones. They have the ones that are flat to the ground. So you lay out a blanket on the ground, and you're probably laying it across 2 or 3 different headstones. What if somebody had walked up and, like, wanted to visit their family?
If that had been, oh my gosh, if I had gotten there and that was my parents, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just...
And not to mention, like, people full on, like, being festive at the cemetery and laughing and yelling and
smoking weed.
Yeah, there was definitely some weed,
which is legal in California, but I don't know that it's appropriate at a cemetery.
Yeah.
I'm not against smoking weed. If you want to do it, but just, I mean, I don't want to smell it at the cemetery.
I think it's just the ultimate reality of, what if, and you can play the what if game all day long, but what if somebody had been having an actual funeral, their family member just recently died, or
this was their first Mother's Day, without that family member, and they're there and they're really sad, and you're just acting crazy. You're acting like you're at the beach.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, these people are just acting like they're just in a regular park or at the beach. I mean, frisbee and playing with kids, playing with beach balls.
We're not talking unusual amount of people for a cemetery. We're talking unusual amount of people for a busy day at a regular park.
Yeah, there was
so many people there.
Not to beat a dead horse, but it was just, yesterday that just sent me over the edge. Yep. It was just disrespectful. I don't know. Maybe we're just being cranky this week. Let us know what you think. I talked to my sister about it yesterday when I got home from the cemetery. She completely agreed with me on all the things that we were chatting about, but maybe you guys disagree. Maybe we're being cranky. I don't know. It could just be a bad week for us, and things are just striking us the wrong way. Maybe, I don't know.
Or maybe we just got hit hard with all the disgustingness.
And Mother's Day is hard for me because my daughter's in Utah right now, staying away from LA, and so this is in her entire life. This is the first time I did not spend Mother's Day with my daughter, and so Ashlyn, I miss you. I love you. I'm sorry I couldn't see you yesterday. So that was tough for me, and plus it's always tough because my mom isn't here, and this time I couldn't see my sister, and it was a hard day for me anyway. So maybe that was just the whole week. Maybe it just put us in a bad light, in a bad mind frame where we just took things more seriously than we normally do. I don't know. I'm not trying to be negative. We just needed to get this out. Some people suck, and that's just the way it is, I guess. So let us know what you guys think. If we're overreacting, maybe we are. Maybe we're just being too petty. I'm not sure. But let us know. Let us know what you're seeing in your areas that's making you crazy. Yeah. Because I would like to, make sure that we're not alone in this. As you guys know, for those of you who've been around a while, we have been working on 52 weeks to full-time RV life. Those of you that are new, we've been working on 52 weeks to full-time RV life. Now we are calling it our 1 year to full-time RV life. So because the quarantine has messed up our timeline a little bit. So same channel, same journey. But it's gonna, instead of counting the weeks, it's our journey to full-time RV life and let the quarantine take us where it may.
Yeah. So once we're out of this quarantine,
and we can start donating.
And we can start donating
this.
stuff, and talk about the sale of our house and stuff like that. Then we'll kind of start tracking time, maybe again on this is kind of where we stopped, and then we'll kind of catch you guys up when we get to that point. But do me a favor. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. If you want to know when we upload videos, we do try to upload every Monday. This week, obviously, we had a bad week, so we didn't upload on Monday.
And keep in mind, we try to upload every Monday, but we do these videos real time. We're not behind. So if something happens like yesterday, we may not get the video out on Monday because something happened yesterday, and we, being who we are, usually wait till the last minute to make the video. Yeah. And we try not to film ahead. So if we miss a Monday, give us some grace there.
Yeah, we'll get you something within a few days.
And if it goes past Wednesday, it'll be the next week. So we do not have access yet on YouTube because we don't have enough subscribers. So please consider subscribing so that we can get enough subscribers. But once we do, we'll have the comment page on our page, and then we can kind of give you real-time updates too.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, thank you again for being here. We really appreciate all of you, and we really appreciate all of your comments. And all of your questions and concerns. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. We hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day if you celebrate Mother's Day. Don't forget to like this video. That helps us out. And
subscribe.
Stay healthy. Stay safe.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
We'll see you next week. Bye.